Well, good morning. So, this is an experiment. I don't know if Heidi is even on yet. We're trying this out. We're being creative in our attempt here. It is a new thing. We did this once before. We didn't practice this, which is great. I'm in Orlando at a mastermind in my hotel room, and I've rigged a situation here. I've got a little tripod and it's sitting on I wrapped it around the television, and then I brought this little light to make it look good. So how y'all doing? We're talking about creativity and the importance of that, being that we're going to be creative right now in connecting with you all. And that can be another one of those things to focus on. How can you be creative right now? What is some outside the box thinking that would be really valuable? Yesterday I was on my way up here. I was talking to a new friend of mine, DJ, and we're gonna be doing hopefully some fun stuff together. But he's got a podcast that we're gonna be, I'll be a guest on and so forth. And here, bring him on camera. Let's see. Oh, how does this work? You can do it. Send some positive tech. Good morning, Tracy. Positive tech vibes. Says adding, adding, adding. Well, we're trying to add Heidi right now. I don't know if we're having some bandwidth issue. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi. I know I'm trying to turn this down. Okay. Oh.
Morning, Tyrese. Or Derek.
Jeez.
What?
Sorry. I don't know. I was like, what am I doing? Okay, there. I turned you down a little bit. Hello.
Oh, that's right. Volume.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. So I wrote creativity because I had to be creative in rigging a situation here to hold the camera, the phone, and a light, and I'm awfully red right now. It's pretty cool, right? There we go. Let me get a little brighter. Oh, is that too much?
It's irrelevant, baby. I don't think anybody cares about that. You look gorgeous.
Oh, you're just saying that because it's true.
Uh-huh.
So I was just talking about a little bit creativity. I don't know if you had something else you wanted to discuss, but I was just being creative in the way. Good morning, Amy. So you're able to comment. Amy had reached out. She said she was unable to comment on the videos, but now she can.
Well, I did have something this morning I was listening to. I was talking about a while back when we were naming these things, because part of me is such a control freak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to have everything strategy, right? Like, oh, let's do Momentum Monday, and let's do like all these different things. And but I'm learning every day to live more in kind of the flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just let inspiration kind of be the guide. And I think that's initially the intent was like Wu Wei Wednesday, which Wu Wei is living your life. It's a Taoist term for living your life in flow and in harmony with the universe. It's where your nature lines up with the nature of God, and you're kind of in this symphony together, creating this beautiful music of your life, and you're doing your part and the universe is doing its part. And so that's part of it. This is Wu Wei. It's like we're doing our part to show up and deliver, but yet remain open to what happens, what comes up, what's led. And I was listening to something this morning that was really cool. It was like, when you're following your personal destiny or your legend, or like the alchemist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever your path is being unfolded for you, because you get a nudge, right? You get like a little call in your heart, like, oh, you should tune into that live, or you should go to that networking event, or you should. Sometimes it's like that. It's like, oh, that's easy to do. Okay, sure. Let me go in my car and go. Sometimes it's like, you should move. you should quit your job.
Oh, I thought you were like
you should
bringing up. You were going to tell us, yeah, we should move.
Well, I've been getting that call to move. Weird, oddly enough, so this little whisper and I don't want to move. So that's the thing, right? We get these little whispers like, hey, you should quit your job, or you should change careers, or you should break up, or you should change what you think, but our ego is so stuck and regimented in the certainty of it, and our ego feels really comfortable where we are. But we get that nudge from our soul, which is where God lives, because it's for the greater good, for the next evolution, for the next big thing. And so, but when we get really afraid of that, we have fear, disbelief, or doubt, or feeling like, oh God, what would happen if I moved, or I'm not ready to move, or I don't want to move, or we're rooted, or that doesn't make any sense. And sometimes the calls that we get don't make any sense. The call that where our hair stands up on our arms, or we get this little nudge. And so our job, I think, really isn't to just be like, okay, pack up and move, right? Like, that's not it, but it's to remain open. As soon as I got that, and it's just the weirdest thing in the world, Doug. I've been to Nashville like one time in my life. Okay. Like for a gig. I went there when I was pretending to be a model, but I was like in a Budweiser bathing suit, posing with car parts at like NASCAR races. Do you remember this life that I had?
Yeah, well, I wasn't there for it, but that's
okay. Well, I mean, that's
modeling.
what I was pretending to be a model. It was really glamorous, like amongst like the carburetors, with the grease hand on my swimsuit. Want a picture with me? I mean, look.
Isn't that true with everything now as well?
Yeah. We always think we're doing something when we're not. Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, that things appear more glamorous than they really are. Yeah.
Always. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a Budweiser model, which is ironic now when you think about it. A Bud girl that, swore off alcohol 10 years ago. But, so anyway, like, yeah, this thing keeps coming up like, oh, you should check out Nashville. You should go to Nashville. I'm like, Nashville? And then there's this other thing. It's like, no, you need to move to Costa Rica or Asheville. It's like Nashville, Asheville, or Costa Rica are the three things that keep coming in. But I have no desire to do that. I love Florida. I love where we live. I love our life. I love our friends. But
maybe we'll just look at some investment.
Yeah, like who knows? Who knows but just remaining open to kind of be like. And so I wonder if our friends that are with us have been feeling this little nudge, right? These little inklings, these little calls, to just, go left instead of right.
Well, as a great example of kind of what you shared, and I started to bring up who I was talking to yesterday, but when I went on there was that mastermind thing in Vegas where it was kind of like almost out of nowhere. Like, oh, it's it's got this invitation to go to this guy's house in Vegas, and it's in like 4 days, and yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Well, out of that has come some pretty cool relationships, because yesterday I spent the entire car ride up talking to one of the guys I met there and brainstorming about.
Wow.
He's putting together, a mastermind and a high ticket kind of thing, and he's doing a radio, a podcast that's doing really well, and like he's just a super cool guy. And we met there. We didn't get a chance to speak for a long time at the event, but we connected enough. He's like, hey, let's follow up. Then the other guy that I hooked Justin up, that the guy's got the internet marketing company. He's been a great resource in helping, people. There's just been, so there's at least 2 people that I'm in still regular contact with from this weird thing. Like, this guy I've seen on Facebook, and he seems pretty cool. Let me go check it out.
Yeah. And yeah, I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying, because I think that's the ticket, is like our ego wants to button it up, put it in a box and say, well, what am I going to get out of this? And why should I really go? But the universe speaks to you and just says, hey, you should go to this thing, but we don't know why. We don't know. It's never what we think it is, right? And sometimes it doesn't make sense, but oh no, it's like The Alchemist. It's like your personal destiny unfolding for you. No. You went to that event not because you were going to get the big breakthrough. You went to that event because you were supposed to meet that person that was there. Right. It's like the other day we had this conversation. I've been feeling this call to do a retreat that's off the beaten path of what we do. We do seminars, we do breakthroughs, but all of a sudden I'm like, no. I've been feeling this for a long time, that I need to do this really intimate destination retreat. Now, destination retreats are like a pain in the butt, right? You got to find the place. And we could say, well, how's this going to line up with everything else that we do? And we could get really caught up in it. But my job is when something like feels inspiring to me, or feels like it doesn't make sense in my egoic kind of construct, but in the big picture, it makes my hair stand up when I think about how exciting it would be or fun it would be. That's the path. That's the unfolding. Because everything in our lives that we're led or called to do is not going to make sense to us, right? But if we're obedient to the signs or the calls or the little, like Frank, our friend Frank calls it the tap, you know, we don't know what's going to unfold from that. You know, we talked the other day, and we have this one event that we do, which is Success Alchemy, which is great, right? It comes, and then I was like, you know what would be so fun? And we started talking, let's do a speakers boot camp, right? Let's just have a bunch of people come in and make it small and help them get their messages out. And so that, to me, our final destination is to be super impactful on the planet, fill stadiums, right? Like that's the goal, right? Write the bestsellers, you know, be this. But the end goal is just like this. If we live our lives for that end goal, we're screwed. Because
Right.
number one, we don't know how long that's going to take to get there. But if we can find ways to like enjoy the journey and do things that light us up along the path, like hold these retreats that we would want to go to, or do the speakers events that we would want to attend when we were first starting out, then we're really just enjoying the journey. And so that's, and then being lit up, and the destination is irrelevant because we're already there. We're already living the dream. And so I feel like that's such an important point today for people, just to, how can we live more if life is not a journey, because that implies there's a destination and I have to get somewhere. What if life was just a dance?
Well,
Sometimes you're doing the tango, sometimes you're doing the cha-cha, sometimes you're doing
the
a lyrical
destination
piece, you know.
the destination, what's interesting, and I also excuse me, guy I just met, I circle back to
I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna piggyback,
so,
Doug.
yeah, piggyback, let's dovetail. Is Josmar. So we met him at a networking event. That was that night that I did like 3 events in one night. And that's where I met Preston and Josmar. Right. And now we're having, we're going to hang with Josmar next week. He's doing an event, which unfortunately can't make, but like we're meeting all these amazing people. Mark Metz, guy from years ago, like my old history, like growing up, he was a big influence actually, he and his brother and all that. And there's Preston just got on. He's just said he's getting, he got a CDL license and he's taking his big rig around the country. And like, there's a strategy to grow big. But really what I was also circling back to was the idea of, home is where the heart is, heaven on earth, all of those things is really about being present and having those joys that, the destination is this huge impact and what, all those great things that we want to experience and share. And we're doing it right now. And to be grateful and present and love the fact that we're having fun doing it this way, that we're connecting and growing. And it's really just a microcosm of the macro experience that we're shooting for. But it's creating it and being present and in the joy of it currently. And I
think that's the ticket to life. Because we're such a destination society. It's like, nope, you go to kindergarten, then first grade, then second grade, then third grade, then fourth grade. And we're wired to just get through and get there. But and that's the metaphor that life is a journey. And I've been so guilty of saying, but a journey implies a destination. If just for me personally, I've started to reframe life as a dance. My friend Becky and I are creating this dance modality to heal trauma. And I'm a dancer, and sometimes it surprises people. I'm not a dancer. I dance in my soul. My soul is a dancer, but this ego is not a dancer at all, but my spirit is. And so I use that to unleash my spirituality. But she always says life is the dance you choose. And if I believe that life is a dance, then I don't know any dancer who's in the dance going, can't wait for this to be over. Right? We're just enjoying a dancer is so elegant and graceful in the way that they move through every movement. It's like you can't tell the dancer from the dance or the dance from the dancer. It's just one, and of course we have to learn the steps, right? We have to learn how to do it, right? And that's what mentorship is.
That's a journey.
And teaching
journey to mastery.
Yeah, right. But once we master the dance, then we move on to the next dance. But we're still just dancing, and we're still just having fun. And so I wonder if whoever is watching is resonating with this, because maybe I know for sure that if I wake up in the morning and I have this thought in my head, oh, you should talk about being called to do something different and go on a different path that your ego doesn't want to go on, but your spirit does, and so you should heed the call. Somebody watching this, one person at least, I know for a fact this morning is saying, oh my God, how did she know that? Because that's the way we're all here, just to serve each other. We're all just
Right.
here to be witnesses on the path and teachers and broom sweepers, let me clear your way, all those different things. So
Well, Joshmar just asked, have you heard of Dance Mandala?
no, I haven't.
All right.
Do I need to?
Well,
Let me write it
yeah.
down.
Dance Mandala. It's really interesting you say that. Like, one of the things that I've also, kind of shared similar to your experience with dance is with music, where I was making incredible music, doing all these great records and stuff. And then, now my goal is to help people make incredible music of their lives, right? To create that symphonic experience. And it just reminded me when you talked
That's so
about,
funny. You make the music, I help them dance.
right? But also, here's what's interesting is the idea of the journey and all of that is just one of the classic statements we would make if someone screwed up. We would go, like, oh, was that wrong? Or was that jazz?
That's jazz, baby.
Right. And we're like, okay, so there is no wrong note. There is no,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's
I love
part of
that.
the experience. Go, no, that was just jazz, right? And it was being, like, we were making a joke of it and being facetious, but at the same time,
Not
so
really.
many
Yeah.
times, and actually the other thing, which is really interesting, where we all are, like, trying to fill so much space, is the use of breaks, of nothingness, of pauses in music and in dance and in, like, if you think about it, in all things, it's those opportunities where there's that pause.
The breath
Yeah,
in between.
right. And that's where sometimes we're
Yeah.
always trying to fill that empty
Right.
space. And that's a great analogy for people who, Jasper said, friends or instructors call it dance meditation. No inhibitions, so freeing. So
Well, I'll have to check that out, because I do
yeah.
5 rhythms, journey dance, Shakti dance, goddess dance. Yeah.
Well, it's
And
so
I'm
funny.
creating one. There's a million, right?
That's the thing. It's here we are. We're stuck with labels and stuff just so
Yeah.
that we can
It's all the
process it. But
same.
it's movement, right?
It's all the
Music is
same.
music. It's energy, and
Mhm.
we just do this so that we can have a conversation around it and distinguish certain things. But unfortunately and fortunately, language is limiting and freeing at the same time, and that's a whole other conversation that we can go down. That's a rabbit hole we don't want to go in. But yeah, it's the being present to those pauses, to those breaks, to the breath, and we're so busy trying to fill it, and just sitting quietly.
We also don't think that, when we're led to do something, we feel like, oh, when it's the right thing, it'll just be really easy. Like if I get a call to move, or it'll just be like, if it feels right, if I get a call to meet that new person, then it should just be easy and right. But everything in life has the yin and the yang. So we have this yin, which is like this spirit, easy flow, but there's always yang. There's always going to be opposition, right? Or shadow. So whenever even if we feel like something called to do, we're going to have natural opposition to it. How do you know if it's your spiritual opposition, like, oh, this isn't meant for me, or if it's your egoic opposition, which is just procrastination, doubt, fear, disbelief, worry? That's all coming from the ego. But if you're being led, then you have to, sometimes you're always going to have an element of talking yourself off the ledge, right? Of like, you can do this, let's go for it. So to think that there's never opposition when it's totally right is ridiculous. There's always
Well,
going to be some form of opposition, internal or external, when you go for anything.
not only that, it's necessary. Think about
It's
flying a plane.
necessary. That's
Flying
right.
a plane, you actually have to fly into the wind to get the lift.
Right.
It's designed,
I
like,
love that.
without the
That's
wind,
so
without the
awesome.
resistance, the plane can't fly.
I love that, Doug. I never really heard that before. You have to fly into the wind to get the height. I love that. And it's uncomfortable, right? I love that.
Yeah.
What a great way to put that. That's true. It helps you sharpen your ability to be able to go higher.
And
And
the other thing
resilience
is,
is built that way.
right, and then to get even more like esoteric and deep, I believe, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, that it's like God is
I see
preparing
you.
us. God is
Right.
preparing us. So, oh, hi, pumpkin. Oh, she can't hear me.
Oh no, but let me hear.
Hi,
Let me.
Birdie.
Can you hear now?
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not
that's
good.
not good.
Oh, okay, let me put an earplug in your ear. Hold on. Hold on. Don't fall down like yesterday. All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Here, put this in your ear. Can you hear?
Hi, pumpkin.
Can you
Hi,
hear?
Daddy.
How'd you sleep?
Good.
Did you have any dreams?
Uh, I dreamed about I found a creepy doll.
Oh.
Did you find the creepy doll?
No, not yet.
You haven't found it yet?
Oh.
Oh, I hit it pretty good this
She
time.
woke up missing you this morning, Papa.
Yeah, I miss you too. Miss you both. You look so beautiful,
I
Birdie.
told you to go fast.
I did go fast.
She means come home fast.
Oh,
Look at this
yeah.
little outfit today, Daddy. How cute this is. Look at her little skirt.
Oh, look at you. You look beautiful.
Want to say good morning to our friends that are watching this morning? You can't really see them right now, but do you want to say hi to everybody?
Daddy,
Just
Yes,
Daddy obsessed with Daddy.
I love you.
I love you. I just can't wait to see you in a little while. Few days, 5 days.
daddy, Dad, but why didn't see me waving?
I did see you waving. I just saw you wave.
Okay, honey, we have to finish talking to our friends, okay? And then I'm going to take you to school. So go ahead, sweetheart. What were you
Okay.
saying?
I forgot. I got distracted.
Okay.
What was the last? Was the last
Well,
sentence?
we were going to go down the esoteric
Daddy?
path, so we could do that for
right,
next
right. The
time.
preparation, the work, right? So that we do the hard work, so that when the level of success happens, we're prepared for it. You know, it's like, you know, the old adage, like what happens like 90% of the time when people win lotto, they go
Right.
broke because they weren't prepared. They weren't able to create that.
Well,
So
and we
it's the
love that
same
quote
thing.
with Jim Rohn. Don't become a millionaire for the $1 million. Become a millionaire because of the person you become in the process, so that you
Right, so
can
that you
keep
can,
it. You know how to
right, yeah,
remake it when
step
you lose
one.
it,
Yeah,
because
step
you
one,
will.
earn
You'll
it.
lose it, and
Yeah.
then you can earn it back and make it back.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's part of that resistance is also in preparation for the bigger picture to support us in being like good stewards with the resources.
Well, I think that, what my hope is that people more and more that are coming to, hold on one second, princess, that are coming to watch these know that, I feel like we're really able to marry the spirit, like our head in the clouds, right? The spirituality with the earthly feet on the ground. And sometimes it's hard to find your tribe of people that I know sometimes when I go to like these spiritual things, I'm like, oh God, no, not my people, right? Because it's like so out there and then I go to the scientific world and everybody's just like, well, I don't see any existence of that at all. There's a middle way that can incorporate all of this and have your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground and be rooted and reaching, right?
Right.
And that's really the conversation that we love to have.
It's a
And
practical
honestly,
spirituality.
it's practical spirituality. And our, event, Success Alchemy, is really about, one of the participants said when we asked what they want to get out of it, and their answers were all obviously broad, but, it was some form of get out of my own way, believe in myself, and connect to my higher power, right? Like find the within, find the true authentic power, my source power, the real stuff, and not mess around with this egoic kind of false sense of self that's just trying to get filled up on stuff that's not fulfilling. And so,
Yeah.
what a blessing at the end of that event. That's exactly what he said he was able to do. And I love that. But anyway, let's wrap it up today. And is there anything else that you want to offer
No,
this morning?
no.
Well,
I
we
think
love
we're
you. I
good.
hope you
Yeah.
have a kick butt day today and
Thank
get
you.
all the
You too.
knowledge and resources and teamwork and feedback and that you give feedback, that everything that you need, you will receive today.
Yes,
Daddy?
thank you. You
Okay, we
too.
love
Yes,
you.
Birdie?
Daddy, who had
Yes?
the creepy doll first?
I did
We'll
hide
find
the
it.
doll. It's hidden. It's downstairs.
We'll find it, Bempkin, okay? All right. We love you, Papa. We love you guys who are
Okay, love
watching,
you.
and we will see you
love
tomorrow.
We love you who you are and who you aren't.
That's
That's
right.
correct. We love you for who you
Beautiful.
are and who you aren't. The real, true you. That's right. Okay.
Lovely. Okay, God bless.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Pumpkin. I love you.